This morning on DC News Now, we're talking about some snow, some wintry mix, as well as some rain, all because of this low down towards our south. And then we'll be watching that powerful cold front back out towards our west, ushering in much colder air as early as tomorrow morning, and that will be with us all the way through Christmas Day. More details on those numbers next.
All right, bracing for travel chaos this morning. The winter storm is creating a nightmare for people heading out for the holidays. We are live at Reagan National Airport as delays and cancellations are popping up at other airports across the country.
And it's not just air travel feeling the impacts. Millions of people expected to hit the roads this holiday weekend. Live look this morning at the Mixing Bowl in Springfield, Virginia, where things are already starting to pick up.
The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
All right, good Thursday morning to you. Thanks for joining us. I'm Corey James.
Good morning. I'm Tanaya Wright. We do want to get right to meteorologist Jackie Layer with a check on our Thursday forecast. And Jackie, the storm making its way to us could affect a lot of people's travel plans.
Yes, those travel plans over the next couple of days. So today we do have a DMV first warn day. We're going to be tracking some precipitation moving through. Right now, some locations seeing some snow, others seeing a little bit of wintry mix, and even some rain, mainly down towards our south. But we're seeing those temperatures hovering right at or just a little bit above the freezing mark for parts of the region. But back out towards the west, the northern plains, a polar plunge. Look at those temperatures currently starting off at least 20, even close to 40 degrees below zero, and that's not even factoring in wind chill at this point. That powerful cold front will be advancing closer towards our area, likely sliding through as we look ahead towards later on tomorrow morning, right around this time tomorrow morning. So that'll be something that we'll be watching for, is that flash freeze where temperatures take a nosedive within just an hour or less. Radar out there this morning seeing some of that snow back out towards the north and west, out towards I-81 and back out towards the west. Closer towards the district, seeing some of that lighter rain showers starting to push through. Winter weather advisories, that's until 4 p.m. this afternoon for I-81. Winter storm warning, though, back out towards the west. That's until 6 p.m. for the accumulating snowfall expected. Flood watch, though, that is until 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. Likely going to be tracking a soaking rainfall passing through the area through the day today. Temperatures out there right now starting off right at the freezing mark, back out towards the west. Upper 30s closer towards the district. You'll just need to make sure to bundle up. But as we get towards later on today, again, that rain really overspraying the region and some pockets of heavier downpours expected. We actually warm things up overnight tonight, followed by that cold front that'll swing through, ushering in much colder air and some strong winds. More details on this coming up. Shanika's here with the on-point traffic update. How's it looking out there on the roadways this morning?
Well, everybody's out there on the roadways. According to this right here, we're looking at 270 heading southbound. You're seeing a lot of brake lights there. We had 2 crashes in this area right before Montrose Road. Heading northbound, you're also in this area, in the Rockville area, you're also pretty heavy as well. So let's flip over to the maps. We also have a crash off of 286 Braddock Road right near Little River Turnpike. I do believe they did shut part of the roadway down. The inner and outer loop, it's looking okay. You're not seeing any delays at all. We also have this situation, right by Little River Turnpike. I'll try to get that out. Then pedestrian struck off of Prosperity Avenue right near Mary Lee Drive. So do watch for some delays as you're heading out in this direction.
All right, Shanika, thank you. Well, every year we see it, packed airports as people travel for the holidays.
That is right. With the Arctic blast hitting the Midwest, a lot of major hubs are expected to be impacted by that. DC News Now's Lex Juarez is live this morning at Reagan National. So, Lex, how is everything looking on the delay board this morning?
Yeah, checking out this flight information board, we have actually another flight cancellation coming into a Chicago flight, another one for later this morning. But we also are getting a lot of delays here. We're seeing a Boston flight that's delayed this morning, Fort Myers, a Detroit, Hartford, and one going to New York as well. So all across the board, as well as a Phoenix flight that I saw was delayed and is on that rotating board right there. So these are all the flights that are going actually out in the departures. There are some also delays for flights that are arriving here to DCA. So if you're going to be picking somebody up, make sure that you're checking on their flight as well. Lots of delays that are starting to pop up. Those cancellations, like I'm only seeing here at this board, are for the Chicago airports, and that is for later on this morning. But of course, definitely something to look out for, especially if you have those connecting flights. Now, I've been speaking with some travelers who have come in. They say that they made their flights early this morning for a reason, and they actually talked to me about what their game plan was for their travels this holiday season.
We had an early flight, so we had to be here earlier anyway. So we got here 2 hours as expected. So we got here, what, 3 in the morning? Yes. 3 in the morning. We've been watching it because we're expecting an Arctic, blast over there. So we're prepared for, expected delays, if anything.
And you're taking a look now at the security checkpoint. This is where everybody has to go if they're flying any airline other than Southwest for Terminal 2 here at DCA. But you can see the lines here are running very smoothly. They're not getting too backed up. This front part over here is for the TSA pre-check, but even behind them you can see that there is not a lot of congestion as of yet this morning. So it's definitely looking good for travelers who are here and are ready for their flight, especially if their flight's not delayed. They should be able to get here and get through those lines quickly and then make it to their gate. We'll check in with you guys in another half hour and let you know how things are going. But for now, live at Reagan National, I'm Lex Juarez, DC News Now.
All right, thank you, Lex. Well, weather is not the only concern for travelers this holiday season as people pack the highways and airports across the country.
Yeah, AAA estimating travel will close in on pre-pandemic levels. Shanika back with us this morning with details people traveling on the road or by plane should know.
Yeah, it's getting busy out there. AAA estimates more than 112 million people they'll be leaving home for the holidays, and that's an increase of nearly 4 million from last year. That would make this the third biggest holiday travel year since the turn of the century. A majority of travelers will drive to their destinations, so the best time to hit the roads are either before noon or after 8 at night, and you may want to hit it early. Now, since drivers could see a 25% longer travel time, that's nationwide, the number of flyers continues to increase despite higher ticket prices. So more than 7 million people are expected to fly, and that's a 14% increase from last year. Also, many are working from home, which will affect travel this season as well. Being able to work remotely, unlike us, provides travelers with more flexibility. AAA expects more people to take longer weekends, which works perfectly this year since Christmas and New Year's, they fall on a Saturday and Sunday. And let's not forget safety. Safety is the biggest concern for drivers who may run into difficult weather on their commute. So ease off of the gas and get to the airport early and pack your essentials and pack your patience in case of an emergency.
And of course, stay with DC News Now for the very latest on this winter storm. You can download our app for the up-to-date forecast around the clock.
All right, your time right now is 7:07. Breaking this morning, Montgomery County Police found a man who was stabbed to death in a parking garage's stairwell. This happened in downtown Silver Spring overnight. Right now, police are looking for witnesses and reviewing security footage to find out what happened.
Right now, our detectives are reviewing the surveillance cameras because there are cameras in this parking garage, and we're trying to determine if we're able to see a suspect or a person of interest that has something to do with this particular incident.
And police are asking anyone with any information to come forward. We will have more updates on this investigation as it develops.
And Montgomery County police are investigating a crash that killed a pedestrian and injured another person in Gaithersburg.
Yeah, a man and woman were hit while crossing the street there, that busy intersection of Muddy Branch Road and King James Way. According to officials, the man died at the scene. Now, they say the woman was taken to a local hospital with serious injuries. The driver stayed at the scene after the crash. Now, DC News Now is working to learn more, and we'll bring you the very latest as it becomes available.
And police in Fairfax County are investigating a crash involving a pedestrian on Richmond Highway in Memorial Heights late last night. The pedestrian was taken to a nearby hospital with what we're told are life-threatening injuries. That crash closed off the southbound lanes of Route 1 right near Southgate.
Against all odds and doom and gloom scenarios, Ukraine didn't fall. Ukraine is alive and kicking.
And your time right now is 7:08. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky was in D.C. on a historic presidential visit. This comes 300 days after Russia invaded his nation. A surprise trip was his first known travel to the U.S. since February when that invasion began. He tells President Biden there will be no compromises in the path to peace with Russia. D.C. correspondent Jesse Tenor has more on yesterday's landmark meeting.
President Zelensky largely credited the U.S. for his country's success so far, but told lawmakers that their future decisions in the very spot where he stood could save millions of people.
Ukraine is alive and kicking.
A long-standing ovation welcomed President Zelensky to the U.S. Capitol Wednesday for a rare joint address to Congress.
I hope my words of respect and gratitude resonate in each American heart.
Zelensky thanked the U.S. for all of its support in Ukraine's war effort against Russia, but asked lawmakers for more.
Your money is not charity. It's an investment in the global security.
Congress is working through the night on a year-long government funding bill that includes $45 billion in additional military and economic aid to Ukraine.
Within the next 48 hours, hopefully this will be done.
Despite some Republican opposition,
we have sent more money and aid to Ukraine than all of Europe combined.
President Biden all but guaranteed the extra support to Zelensky.
The United States is committed to ensuring that the brave Ukrainian people can continue to defend their country.
The two presidents previewed how funds Congress already approved will help Ukraine. The latest package includes the first ever transfer of a Patriot missile defense system.
This is a very important step to create a secure airspace for Ukraine.
It will still be months until Zelensky's troops can use the system.
It's going to take some time to complete the necessary training.
But Zelensky did not return home empty-handed. After gifting lawmakers a Ukrainian flag signed by soldiers on the front lines, Zelensky left the Capitol with an American flag that just flew over it.
And lawmakers are currently still debating that large government funding bill that includes the additional Ukraine aid, and a timeline for its passage right now remains uncertain. In Washington, I'm Jessie Tenor.